Storm on YouTube and around the web, and we'll see you in the Nexus.
I'll see you in the shadows.
We're jumping straight in the draft here with Team Expert and Team Dignitas facing off. Right now, Dignitas ahead 2-1. Expert did choose the battleground. We are going to BOE. So here is your update. Tassadar picked for Dignitas. On the left, Expert has grabbed Varian and Vala. And Varian has been getting a lot of play today.
Yes, he has. I think these two teams really value the... These two teams embody that kind of like, we want to lock someone down and then just blow them up straight.
Yeah.
So I can see why it's heavily contested. That is the highest Varian priority that we've seen throughout the HGC Europe.
And he just kind of fills that role that ETC gets. Now, granted, ETC's better. It's area effect, power slides everyone else, but he gets the engage here that these teams love to have so much. Now, to note, Medivh was banned once again, and so is ETC now that we've just spoken about him. So over to Dignitas, they have grabbed Tassadar. They are moving into Tyrael and Malfurion. Interesting enough here on BOE. I feel like the Tyrael takeaway makes Expert not go down the Greymane path, as you need to have some kind of save button for your Greymane. And sadly, Uther just doesn't play anymore. So Tyrael is the main go-to.
Yeah, yeah. I think that overall, though, I like where Team Expert has gone in this draft, because we saw in our first game of the day, Tassadar's power is diminished when a Valor is taken away on the other side. So that's cool. They hovered Artanis to start this ban off. They're looking for Ragnaros.
I think they should leave Artanis up. They can take him. I wouldn't mind having an Artanis and a Varian.
Yeah.
And a Vala on my team.
I mean, let's see who would play that. So Vala, the Varian is Bad Benny, and that would then mean Blade would be on the Artanis if they wanted to do that, or the Ragnaros. Depends which they want. But now they're kind of telegraphing a little bit of what they could want. Actually, hovering that Ragnaros may say that they wanted it themselves now, and not banning it. So is it just a Ragnaros ban now?
See here from Dignitas. Could get rid of the Rhaegar, which has been one of the go-tos for Expert. They elect to get rid of Li Ming, though. So now Expert on their side. Do you go for your Rhaegar and then the Ragnaros as your third and fourth pick?
I wouldn't even mind Tychus's damage for them. But is Tychus Valor too much? Because they do want probably to try and mix Ragnaros in here.
Did you just ask the question, is damage too much?
No.
Always damage. Full quick match.
Oh my god.
4 assassins and 1 support.
Yeah, this is where our Varian goes Twin Blades of Fury and I cry myself to sleep.
Oh, but the Immortal DPS. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah.
Such destruction.
Great. I love that. Yeah. Never ever. There's always those moments where you're like, you have a Varian on your team, and you're like, yes, we have a Varian. He's going to go taunt. It's going to be great.
And then you hear the shout at level 10 where it's like, ah, and he just rips his blades in half, and you're like,
what did you do?
About that.
Why did you rip Charlemagne in two? Just leave it together.
Is that the name of the sword?
Charlemagne?
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, you just know so much lore.
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
You say sorry? That's amazing. I'm impressed.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Ragnaros and Zarya
I like this comp.
become the pickups for Experts. So Expert, or Dignitas needs damage, and they instantly lock in Tracer here.
I forgot about that. Uh-oh.
Yeah? Tracer, Tassadar, Malfurion. For the 5th pick, I think you can go solo Tyrael with Tracer. I like the Zarya takeaway now that we think about it. If you had Zarya, Tassadar, Malfurion, and Tracer, that composition is insane to play against. They do lack damage for the Immortal, but they do have heavy engage, and they can be annoying to the opposing team Expert. I'm going to need a little bit more control, but the problem is they need to go for support as their 5th pick. So,
yeah. Are you ready for the Lili?
Yeah, some Lili.
On the side of the Expert. I mean, in the past, back when they were 2Bs determined, they have gone down that path. It's good against Tracer, but I think it would have been better suited if they'd have had a support in place and then kind of played some weird pseudo-Lili damage.
Yeah.
They might still. I think it's a wild card and a shot in the dark that I don't think they should do.
I just worry about Tracer against Varian, though. Normally you pick Varian to counter-strike in a Tracer.
You're right.
So I'm interested to see how this shakes out. I wouldn't mind Brightwing, too.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Varian engage Brightwing Polymorph, and then kill her.
I think that's great. Because then the Tracer has no room at all to do much of anything. Curson can play the Bright Wing quite happily. What are we on in terms of... Did Rhaegar ever get banned? I mean, they might go down that
you
path,
go Rhaegar for the safe pick, but I do like the idea of Brightwing. Just, all right, Tracer, you've been picked.
Good.
Let's delete you.
Yeah.
You can't be a part of the team ever. And if you do, you get polymorphed and you get taunted here by Varian. They elect to go Uther?
It's another targeted stun.
True, but it requires you to, be in range.
Yeah.
So that requires the Tracer to be A, bad, or B, too aggressive.
Well, after the challenge and the taunt, you've got the guaranteed follow-up stun as long as Uther's going to be kind of like in the close vicinity, because that buys a lot of time.
And you have the Divine Storm lockdown
you
to follow it up.
Oh,
That's damage. And you might be able to pick another hero while it's happening.
I mean, Nape did go Divine Storm. We have seen that in HGC Europe.
Yeah, you go full lockdown comp and just... You eliminate someone, and then suddenly Uther in a 5v4, while everyone kind of knocks on his heels and his cooldown, suddenly in a 5v4, if you have one more member over, Uther suddenly becomes a solid hero, and if he gets picked off, you have the other heals too. Divine Shield, though, if you do actually think about it, Divine Shield, where do you use it here? Do you use it during the Ring of Frost, or do you use it during the Pulse Bomb? Those are the only two options where I'm like, I need Divine Shield.
I think you don't go Divine Shield. I'm actually on the Divine Storm train, because you've got Zarya. You have a bit more extra oomph in your sustain.
Yeah.
This is weird. Why am I making a good justification for Divine Storm?
Please, come fight us. Here is the engage from Varian, the follow-up stun. Well, I think it's hard, but if it does connect with the stun from Uther, and then if the other team comes in to move in to help the Tracer, you just drop the R button, Divine Storm, and then you win the game.
This is a really weird spot. It's not to say that Divine Shield doesn't have its place here. It definitely does.
There's moments for it.
But Divine Storm?
All right. Game 4. Let's find out. Will there be a storm or will there be a shield? Here we are on Battlefield of Eternity.
Okay. To the left-hand side, needing to bring this game back on their side is Team Expert Curson. Will be on Uther. Excited to see where that goes. Bad Benny on Varium. We'll have ADRD on Zarya. Next up is Blade, going to be playing Ragnaros. And finally, we'll have Nick on Valor with the Monster Hunter build.
To the far right, Dignitas here up 2-1 in the series, looking for a Game 3 win. Bakery, JPL on the Tyrael. Snitch will be showing off his Tassadar once again for the day. Mayne will be showing off his Jane. And then last but not last, Xaylia will be Tracer.
All right, so the European scene knows Xaylia's Tracer very well, and it's scary. So let's see how it's going to play against the Varian Uther, because that's a lot of lockdown. Xaylia is going to have to absolutely be the playmaker here for Team Dignitas if they're to succeed.
Yeah, the good news for Team Dignitas is if they actually handle the initial pressure that comes from Bad Benny and crew, Tracer will just chase them all day for the next 6 to 7 seconds.
Just to kind of emphasize that point even more, a lot of times on Hero League, like halfway through last year and towards the end of it, people would see Xaylia in their Hero League games and just ban Tracer first.
That's insane.
So, yeah.
Major comfort pick here. Can Bad Benny handle the pressure that will come from Xaylia? We'll see here as we have the 4-man rotation down here on the bottom. Xaylia so far has been rotating from the top and the bottom just to apply pressure where he can. And I'm excited for it. I am ready to watch this shake out. I'm still a little bit sad that we don't have Brightwing as a 5th pick. I just feel like she would have been so much better here. But I am excited to see some Uther shenanigans.
Yeah, they've got to have something up this thing. They're doing a lot of damage to Mene there at the back. The grenades, with ADRD being fueled, are doing great job here down towards the bottom. So already a good start for Team Expert.
That it is. Applying pressure to this bottom lane, and this should be the case for the game. It's right up team fights. I feel like Expert is going to be in a good spot to really just kind of siege upon and control the flow of battle, whereas Dignitas is looking for a major pickoff. That Pulse Bomb will have to be important here for our Tracer.
I wonder if Feel the Heat level 1 from Zarya is a response to Tracer being very up in your face as a hero here. So it will do is ADRD's auto attacks will now deal 50% extra damage to people in melee range. So
it's also good against the Immortal.
True. Very true.
So there we go. 5 members in the bottom right aggressively. Dignitas sets up for the damage here for Expert. Expert does move over to their own Immortal as well and start the defense, looking for some kind of engage. Xaylia just dancing back and forth. There goes the nice dodge there. At 4, that will be much harder for him to do, as the Warbringer will be something that Tracer has to dance around.
Yeah, it's scary. So almost got I think Pulse Bomb's almost ready here for Xaylia. If they want to actually look for the blow up on towards someone, going into ADRD there for the moment. Good with that person keeping everyone alive. This is good trading, though, for Team Dignitas. They're getting a lot of value here.
Yeah, they're just pushing this limit of where 4 is not here for Variant. That's when the anti-tracer comes online. So they're just going for damage on this Immortal, and they're getting it well here. 4 is very close, though, and that's where Expert should turn it up in terms of movement. Looking for an engage. JPL dodging the Q there from Bad Benny. Now that 4 is here, Bad Benny gets aggressive. He jumps on Tyrio. Zelia in the back right, applying pressure to ADRD. There goes the dive in. Zelia looking for some more here. Will pop off the parting gift, applying a small amount of damage.
Yeah, so not the double stun on towards Zelia there, but you can see already that that one stun alone caused him some problems. That's a good grenade on towards ADRD, but it's not going to finish him off, as they're just trying to jostle for position here.
And make him back up, though.
Ooh, locking down on JPL. He has to back off as well.
And Team Dignitas is actually winning the Immortal race, which I did not expect.
Yeah, it might change later down the line. We'll see, because obviously that Valor Q, the Valor Hungering Arrow, is always going to be building up.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity for Team Dignitas to just back off and get their fountain because of the positions that the Immortals spawned in. Oh, that's damage!
JPL taking the hit there, will be able to retreat there. Bafirian gets the heal as well. There's a massive kill, though, as Zelia's going to pick it off. Bad Benny on the retreat, though. He is about to have a Warbringer up, so he could turn around if there is a call, but Dignitas elects to just take the Immortal phase, and they will take the first one of this game.
Yeah, so that was very well executed by Team Dignitas. Again, because of the spawning positions and Team Expert having to defend, they got the better end of going back to their fountain, then coming back, so they were very, very healthy for that exchange. So good stuff there by Team Dignitas.
Gotta agree with you, and now they can start to push this top right. I don't feel like their push is that insane, but their pickoff potential is pretty crazy, especially with Zelia getting a pulse from up soon. The first, though, on ADRD moving in for the punch there. ADRD will be forced to retreat. JPL being aggressive, but does Eldruin out person for looking for maybe a stun, but
yeah,
slowed down too much here by Mayonnaise.
The fact that he has Heroic Reforging will keep him even safer later on down the line. I don't think he hit anybody on the first throw in, but it was so long into cooldown that it's fine. Molten Core is going to get popped, force everyone back, and make sure this fort doesn't really take much damage at all. So that's nice here for Team Expert.
Yep, a nice hold for them. Dignitas does hit 7 here. Checking out their talents. Everything looks standard here.
I still can't believe we made a pretty good case for a Divine Storm in this game. It's I'd love to see it, but you know, it rarely happens. It rarely happens.
It does, but I really think there's only 2 tools that you need Divine Shield for. I mean, maybe you're going to hold it off for that Pulse Bomb or for the Ring of Frost to save a teammate, but I do think if you go for this comp, just Varian, Stun, Divine storing it up, maybe you get someone else as well, but you can definitely eliminate a Tracer if the shields aren't on point.
I also like that we've had Jay playing Tyrael every game, because I absolutely adore Tyrael and his utility. I think he's amazingly strong. I say that, but he might end up dying if he's not careful. Pulse Bomb attempted on towards ADRD, keeps himself alive. A little bit unfortunate that he keeps having to Pulse Bomb ADRD, who's quite sustainable compared to most of the heroes in this comp.
So I actually like the game plan is they constantly keep Warbringering onto Tyrael. They go for the full engage on him because he is a low healthful hero. But I wonder if it's more of a conditioning thing here, where in the early game they're constantly going to focus Tyrael, make Zelia maybe get into a moment where he thinks he's safe because he doesn't have to deal with the Warbringer that comes his way. Yeah. And then maybe overstep slightly, and that's when they go for the full Varian Delete Tracer. Because so far, it's mostly been Tyrael. Even when they have the option to hit Tracer, they always go on Tyrael.
Definitely could be. I mean, for Tracer in this game, I think it's going to be a case of you can't sit around for too long in those backlines. So you're gonna charge up your Pulse Bomb, you're gonna charge in, you're gonna melee Pulse Bomb until level 20, where you might get the level 20 talent where you have to reverse that order, and then just leave the parting grenades, just try and do as much damage with that and then leave. Like, there's no other way, because you will just get absolutely shredded if you stick around for too long.
Totally true. And then Mayne, if they ever do have the full engage, if they try to chase Tracer at all, you can have that Ring of Frost come down. Okay, here we go.
Level 7 on Varian, live by the sword. All right, I wasn't expecting that to come out.
Okay, so that is kind of an indicator here that the it's going to be super tank here and it's trying to hold off your opponent. And it's going to be able to block at least 2 of the hero basic attacks. Kind of hard against Tracer, but still something that could be helpful in the fights. Bad Benny on the right side here is looking at his Immortal. The Immortal is already low, though, for Dignitas as Team Expert starts to work in those Hungering Arrows. Yeah,
an attempted push on towards Zelia there on the Tracer, but nothing to be expected from that. At least they got some good poke there, did Team Expert, as they try and move away from the spot. they had to go to the bottom because the fountain's there, compared to one that they don't have at the top anymore because it got killed off.
And Live by the Sword, again, they continue to get value here from Bad Benny, as Tracer can just get that cooldown reduction here available for the variant. Got to see him being aggressive as we head towards level 10. Dignitas does rotate down. Just gonna go ahead and watch for this push that is occurring here from Expert.
Find themselves to level 10, but that's likewise why we're seeing Expert really press the issue onto those towers. They absolutely have to catch up right now in terms of that experience. Here's level 10.
Here we go. Tyrael instantly goes in. Ring of Frost connects with 2 members. Ragnaros in the back right, but the Immortal will help out in the fight. But Vala does get eliminated, and Tracer has yet to be touched in this fight. Curson falls, and Bad Benny being chased, and Tracer is insanely good at chasing.
And that's world-class punishment for sticking around for too long.
Yeah.
The fact that they just 10 popped and Dignitas instantly went forward. Tyrael had thrown Eldarune's Might just before they popped 10 so that he knew where he could go to and then absolutely execute them. That was decimation there of Team Expert. So well played by Team Dignitas.
Yeah, and the thing is, they split off a couple members. They put Tracer and Tassadar on chasing down that Ragnaros, and that means maybe we'll have a defense from Ragnaros later, but for the next 9 seconds, the Immortal has been taken for Dignitas, and they will be able to push.
All right, so it's Divine Shield. Sorry, Tweeter. We do apologize for getting your hopes up. But that is now going to be the answer to try and deny the combos coming out from Tracer.
Yeah.
You throw it down on the person that gets pulse bombed. It's very well telegraphed. You can deny that damage super fast. And then from that point on, you try and blow up the Tracer when she sticks in for too long.
Okay. Bad Benny and the crew are going in for a push. Bad Benny leading the charge here. JPL scaps behind here with the Eldruin. There's the taunt on top of Bakery. Bakery gets hits on Fear Smash.
Oh!
The Explosion Zone knocks him back as well. And now Expert can turn around.
Yeah,
start focusing on the Immortal.
There you go. Pop the shield straight on towards Blade as he gets put the pulse bomb on. But they did turn their attention very quickly to Team Dignitas on towards Zarya. Likewise now, we have Ragnaros actually falling down for Blade. Bad Benny and Curson under a lot of threat. That's going to be Sanctification, keeping them alive. Uther will fall. That's a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Team Dignitas.
3-for-1 trade, and Zelia is not getting touched in these fights. The shields are constantly on him. He's constantly at full health as well. I like the idea of moving in and getting the backline and taking out a healer and such, but Zelia has been uncontested here, and if he's as strong as the Tracer as you mentioned, and I'm starting to agree with you,
he is.
You need to do something about that.
Yeah, and I can't believe during draft we even forgot about it because of that Tassadar Tracer scariness that can come out when you give it to people like that.
Yeah.
I think that overall, Team Dignitas just then in that team fight adapted very quickly and very effectively. They dropped the pulse bomb on towards one target and then blew up someone else. Oh, speaking of blow up, run away.
JPL taking some damage, does retreat. The parting gift does not hit Nick there. That could have been a takedown there from Zelia. Now Mercenaries in the bottom, 13-11. Dignitas is actually pretty far ahead. The first time that we've seen this large of a gap, I feel like, in the series between these two teams.
In draft, they figured out how to defeat Team Expert. The Expert probably could have taken that second game, but a little bit of a mishap. Speaking of mishaps, that's how you deal with the Tracer. That's a great Ring of Frost, though.
But the counter Ring of Frost connecting, and that will be a trade on Uther. So Tracer for Uther here. Uther continues the heals, but damage still keeps popping out from JPL and his crew here. 17 seconds till Sanctification, so we can't dive that. But the Mercenaries moving in. Here comes Bad Benny. There goes the counter attack, and Mayne will turn around and help out, killing off Bad Benny.
Yeah, they're in their moment, a Team Dignitas here. They're absolutely just kind of walking away with this. That's another kill going down. Of course, JPL's at the front and everyone gets Molten Swung, but it doesn't matter. Look how much they're sticking around. They're going to go for Blade here. They're going to go for him. Oh my god, that's stun. Leave, leave, leave. Oh. Losing one, I can't believe how much damage just came out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like Dignitas did have a chance to actually take out Blade, as they did sink the Sulphurous Smash. Explosion Zone popping out from ADRD, but Snitch will be able to retreat with the Dimensional Shift. Immortal spawning in the next 5 seconds, but now Expert at least is making some headway. They're about to hit 13.
And that's kind of where I said, you know, Dignitas, they're in their moment, they're in their groove, but then they let that go a little bit too far. That could have really hurt if they'd have stuck around for just a little bit longer. And losing the Tyrael, I think they got quite fortunate there. Yeah,
that's one of those moments where the groove is just, you're feeling yourself a little bit too much, and next thing you know, the police officer stops by and says, hey, you're speeding. You need to calm down.
Yes.
Police officer Expert here, slowing down Dignitas for a little bit. But Dignitas still in a good spot, 15-13, but they are in danger of losing the Immortal phase here, as Expert has a substantial lead in the Immortal phase.
Yeah, and that's the power of later game Valor coming into play. She's almost completed her puncturing arrow at level 4. So that's, well, I think it might have just completed from that shot. But yeah, that's a lot of extra damage that they put on quickly.
With Ragnarok's not being here, JPL goes for the dodge. Rain of Vengeance right behind here. Sanctification's up 15 seconds. Bakery's helping out with a heal, but Kirsten in the front line gets silenced before he pops up the Divine Shield.
But we know the power of Uther's Ghost, so they've still got to be very careful about this engagement for the next 8 seconds or so, as Uther's Ghost now gone. Dignitas can technically re-engage once Jaina has cleaned up the bottom lane.
Such a good engage there by Dignitas, because they have mercenaries pushing the top. Yes, the keep is going to be killed off. And that forced Ragnaros to come in and help with the fight, which allowed for the push to continue, because Blade was already there to defend it.
So Team Expert has to take this Punisher. If they don't, they're in no man's land. As Team Expert, they tried to go forwards, but it's very difficult for them to do anything. 16's about to hit as well. There goes Sanctification coming into the fight. Sulfura Slam did absolutely nothing. Expulsion Zone onto 1. Valor's going to end up falling there. Bad Benny is being chased down. He will fall as well. Team Dignitas is running away with this.
Yeah, the run into the Immortal, and they're going to get a push here in the bottom lane. They're still mercenaries, still pushing the top, by the way. They started to tickle the court slightly here as the armor should be going down soon. ADRD will be able to handle it, but this is the moment right here for Dignitas to move into the port and maybe get a keep. They have a 3-level lead on their opponents here with this Tracer comp.
Yeah, so Tracer obviously has been quite valuable, but it's been Mene dealing out a lot of the damage from the back. He's at 50,000 hero damage compared to the 32 from Tracer. Admittedly, Tracer's is very effective damage.
Yeah.
She's almost always looking for kills when she's putting on damage, not just poke.
She's the pressure that makes you get out of position for the Jaina to fall across. And it's good to see, because Mene, I felt like last week, or the first week, his Jaina looked a little wonky. Today, looking great. Definitely putting practice in on his hero there. Blizzard will start the push on the keep. The Immortal with a massive amount of shield should help you able to push down this keep. And watch out for Zelia. JPL on the front line, the holy ground setting up.
Yeah, he'll zip in if you give him opportunity. He won't zip in with Molten Cores there, though, just so you know. He doesn't want to get stunned by a Molten Swing for any reason. But that's why we're seeing Blade save it. And could easily use it now. That's going to catch 2 of them on the left-hand side. Bakery just taking a bit of damage, but gets hooked. And that is going to be probably keep falling.
Good force wall there. Bad Benny on the back right side. Sulfura Smash does come out. The Unstoppable does pop as well. Ring of Frost will connect with Uther. Kirsten here stuck on the bottom left. Here comes Zelia applying slight damage. There's a massive silence once again, but the Divine Shield comes out. Bakery's silences has been on point. The ice block here on Nick. The holy ground as well. Zelia comes in for the kill. He's low on health, but the last second shield will save him. And Dignitas takes out 3 members looking for a 4th as they chase Blade.
Yeah, brilliant execution here by Team Dignitas as they try and lock down Bad Benny. Bad Benny tries to lock down Zelia, but that's going to be a pop-on towards Bad Benny, and he goes down. Zelia looking for the plays, kills off another, and that could just be game.
That it could. JPL leads the charge. Blade on the side. They spread out instantly to watch out here from the Empower Sulfurus from Blade. Bakery takes the first hit, but the core is already down to 30%, down to 20%, down to 10, and Dignitas will walk away with the series 3-1. And a great victory for them as they move towards the top 3 here in Europe.
A lot of question marks revolved around this series as to who was going to be triumphant and who was going to move on. Was it going to be the big powerhouse in Team Dignitas, one of the big 3, or was it going to be Team Expert? They showed glimmers of hope in that series for sure, but Team Dignitas still solidifies themselves as definitely one of the big 3.
And a refreshing thing to see. I felt like we came in the series and went to a game 5, even if Dig won, there would still be the question mark, is Dig okay? Are they still a team here that is so strong in Europe? And they come out in silence. Anyone asking those questions. 3-1 victory, especially after they figured out the draft in game number 1.
Oh, yes, yes.
It really seemed like Expert came out with a game plan, and they destroyed in game 1. But game 2, game 3, and now game 4, Dignitas just in the lead the entire time.
Yeah, Team Dignitas absolutely knew going into that second game that they could have lost it. There, had it not been for the over-eagerness of Team Expert to try and push on towards that middle lane to try and find that fight as quickly as they did. But yeah, it could have been a different series entirely because of that. But Team Dignitas walks away with the win.
And the guts too to pick a Tracer into a Varian.
Yeah, that's true.
I would have never moved down that route. I'm too fearful of that E button. It's the scariest button on the keyboard when Varian is on the field, and they just managed it so well.
I mean, Xaylia, what have I got to say? He performed well when he was playing the Zeratools. We saw him on this Tracer as well, a fearsome opponent in the European scene when it comes to that Tracer. Don't give him Tracer. He is really, really good at it, and we just watched that exhibition of Tracer there.
Well, let's get the thoughts here from the team captain himself of Dignitas, Bakery. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Bakery, congratulations on your 3-1 victory here over Team Expert. We got to go with the simple one. How does it feel?
See, I don't say this often, but this really feels great because a lot of people for a long time were saying like, oh, Expert are better than Dignitas, you know, they're like the up-and-coming team. And it feels so good to be able to finally say, like, no, we're still top 3, guys. Like,
well,
we're still good, honestly.
I want to follow that up. Was there any fear going into this matchup that you guys may lose to Expert and start have to deal with those questions that the community would be asking?
It's like, not really. Like, we weren't especially scared of losing, and if we did lose, that would just mean we had to face Fnatic and win next week. So we weren't really scared as such, but we were definitely cautious, yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I was confused as to whether or not you guys were gonna win or Expert was gonna win, but you guys definitely solidified that position there. I want to ask about the draft patterns because it's a little bit. Between you two guys, at least, it's a little bit different from Expert's side compared to the other teams in Europe. What did you make of letting Tassadar through as much as they did?
So, obviously, their plan with letting Tassadar through, which they haven't done in any other games in the HGC, and obviously no other team is doing, I think that was just trying to throw us off. Like, I think in the interview last week, ADRD said we're going to take them to different maps, we're going to do different things, just try and throw them off. And I think we can beat them. And it was a really good strategy, I gotta say. It did definitely work really well. We were unsure of ourselves, and I think that definitely showed in game 1. That was definitely a mishap in draft there.
I just want to ask you about the confidence levels you guys have of picking Tracer into Variant. Am I missing something, or is Xaylia that good on that hero?
No, Xaylia's just that good.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I'm not screwed up in my drafting phases when I pick my Tracer into Variant in the future. I'm like, well, Dignitas did it, so we're good to go. That's it, man. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And again, congratulations to you guys. Obviously, next you're facing off against Fnatic, so good luck with that. But any major shout-outs before we let you go?
So obviously, shout-outs to Team Dignitas, shout-outs to my team and Xaylia. We had a great series today. And of course, shout-out to Herosoft, and you can follow me there.
Awesome, man. We will definitely follow you. Again, congratulations to Team Dignitas as they'll be moving up in the standings. A well-earned victory indeed. And I'm just glad we got to watch this series. A wonderful weekend. Let's take a look at these standings and see where Dignitas is actually standing after that victory. Here, and still in 4th place, but they are creeping on Fnatic. They actually face off against Fnatic next in the next matchup between those guys. So 3-1 tie between Expert, Fnatic, and Dignitas. Obviously, match wins do affect it overall. Expert still in 2nd place, but still crazy stuff.
That's correct. The big fixtures really don't end with today. Obviously, Dignitas versus Expert being a very important match, but Expert down the line now needs to go up against the likes of Fnatic, the likes of Misfits to see if they can eke out some wins there. It's going to be very difficult. And likewise, as Bakery said there, when he plays, when Team Dignitas plays against Team Fnatic, that's going to be a big one too.
Yeah, I mean, today's matchup was just a catalyst to start of all the fun stuff we get in the next couple of weeks with Expert taking on Fnatic, then Dignitas taking Fnatic. Let's find out what we're watching tomorrow on Sunday, the last day of Week 3 here at the HGC. Fnatic versus Team Expert tomorrow to start the day off on Sunday. Afterwards, we get Tricked Esport taking on Synergy. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to go really good one too, is the best way to describe it in terms of like those two teams really matching up against one another probably quite nicely.
Yeah, North America will of course be afterwards, Gale Force Esports and Team 8, and then B-Step taking on Team Freedom. But how lucky are we to get these amazing games here in Heroes of the Storm? Europe is just shaping up nicely.
I mean, this series for me didn't disappoint. That could have quite easily gone to 5 games if we'd have seen Team Expert actually take Infernal Shrines. And for them from that point on, it could have been anyone's ball game. But a great series to end our day.
Awesome. Well, Day 2 in Week 3 ends today. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Heroes Global Championship. We'll see you tomorrow.
what do we have here? Let's get this promo tour started. Oh yeah, Lucio in the house.